Welcome back to Super Mario Brothers. We're in the last part. Wow, it's a short game when we're not limited to 11 minutes.
Man, back in the day, this would have been part 6.
Yeah, just
No,
about.
probably close. Probably part
It
3.
would only be part 6 because Ryan didn't end it out all his deaths, you know.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Was that the case in the original? I know it was so long ago, but I know, like, we
I
gave you shit for doing something, and I think it wasn't
that,
editing your
that was
deaths
Mega
out.
Man 3.
Was it Mega Man 3?
No, I know
that
it
was
was-
Lost Levels.
that
Lost
was the-
Levels, you edit out your deaths.
Yeah, after you guys nagged him to do it. Because
Yeah.
there was a good 10-minute part of showing just Ryan dying. with
I remember
dude that
drawing
he held.
magic because
That was Mega Man 3.
That was Mega
Yeah.
Man 3, yeah.
I remember drawing
You
magic.
did the art for Magic the Gathering? Wow, Lewis, that's awesome.
I was like, what the hell are you doing hanging out with us?
Oh, well, you know, I drew the really shitty art that was used in, like, the first and second editions that no one remembers anymore because it was terrible.
In fact, that's the Magic the Gathering lawyer calling right now. It's like, tell him to shut up.
If any actual Magic the Gathering artists want to do thumbnails for us, go right ahead.
Yeah. We'll make a set of BrainScratch cards.
Yeah.
I just had a horrifying picture in my head of all four of us drawn in, like, game-specific costumes in that quality of art style. I'm like, okay, this is amazing. At the same time, I didn't ask for this.
I play Ryan in defense mode.
Magic
is
the
Magic
Gathering
Death.
doesn't have a defense mode, you troglodyte.
Okay, I evolve Ryan into Ryan with a bigger Jufro.
It doesn't have evolutions
Yeah,
either. Does it? I don't know. It might have.
And that's the
Changed.
entire name of the card, too. It's like, it's Ryan and Ryan with a bigger Jufro. Limited edition. And it's just a picture of the dude from Eraserhead.
Just as expensive as the Black Lotus.
Yeah.
That reminds me, like, over Christmas season, I actually bought a Yu-Gi-Oh game on the PS4. Just the card game. And I'm like, I really should actually play this. But I know, like, from my experience with every video game-based Yu-Gi-Oh card game, is that it means starting out with, like, all the cards that have no abilities that no one ever uses because they're just normal monsters. So
Well, given how radically changed the game is nowadays, I would say every monster is viable in some form or fashion.
well, they did have a run of cards at some point while I was still playing the game that was meant to give you advantages when you were playing normal non-ability monsters, but I don't think anyone ever used those. So,
I'm surprised there even was a game for the PS4. I thought they were putting all their attention on Duel Links on the phones.
oh,
what
I'm
everybody's
pretty
playing
sure this
now.
PS4 game is just kind of old. Meant to be played in single player also, so that should tell you something.
Well, that's depressing.
Well, I mean, it's not like those kind of games weren't fun. I played an unhealthy amount of those kind of Yu-Gi-Oh card games on my Game Boy Advance back in the day.
Pokemon trading card game on color.
I'd never played
I did
that.
play that for a while, actually.
It's shockingly difficult.
It's pretty okay. You did it. You did it. You hit yourself with a shell because you hit it slightly off center and
Yep.
knocked it in the wrong direction. Everyone,
And those blocks make the emote face that Ryan was feeling right at that moment.
everyone has done that at some point or other in this game.
Shit, I've kicked a shell and ran into it while running towards
Oh,
it.
same.
Well, yeah, because it bounces back so fast you don't have time to react.
Yeah.
Well, no. I mean, in Lost Levels, you have that wind gimmick.
Oh, so the wind pushed you fast enough to run
The
into
wind
your own
pushed
shell.
me fast enough to catch up to the shell that I kicked, and I died that way.
Oh man, that's good. But yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh card games on the Game Boy Advance were surprisingly decent.
Yeah, I played a lot of World Championship 2004 and
I'm
5.
pretty
and
sure-
Was that the
One
one
Pink,
where the
Steroids,
cartridge
Jason
had Jaden, whoever the fuck is the name from?
No. That's GX. I think the GX game started in the DS.
No, because I definitely had a Game Boy Advance Yu-Gi-Oh game where his stupid mug was on the cartridge.
They probably had like a really late GBA life cycle game that had Jade and Yuki on it. But
He wasn't
Maybe.
like in the game, but he was on the cartridge. I could probably. It's
That's
like
really
one
weird.
of the 4 Game Boy Advance games I still have lying around.
in that case, they probably just repackaged it.
It was probably Duel Academy, Ted, because that was 2006.
So yeah.
Wow, that's 2 years after the DS came out.
Well, the Game Boy Advance had a decent life cycle after the DS came out because the DS still had the Game Boy slot.
I'm
so-
sorry, a second ago, just thinking about the sub-series that came out after Yu-Gi-Oh was finished almost made me sneeze because like I don't like them.
I have a soft spot for GX. Honestly, it's stupid, but it's a good kind of stupid.
It's a good kind of stupid for the first season, then it just becomes stupid after that. Like, they tried to have just a fun show about a duel academy, but then they realized people weren't really into it because it felt like Yu-Gi-Oh for little baby kids. So
GX really cranked up the soap opera element in storytelling, I feel.
they went to extreme lengths later on to try and raise the stakes and make it a world-threatening event, but it doesn't really work with the premise.
What are they doing? Playing card games, sir. Oh, okay.
Carry on.
Did we just free like a Siamese quadruplet set?
I don't know what the hell that's supposed to be. Maybe they were trying to escape via like a
Canoe.
mushroom canoe.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be. It's obviously
I'm hiding in
supposed
Bowser's
to be.
castle underneath my toad box.
It's obviously supposed to be a canoe, but since it's mushroom patterned, it looks like they're a collective head. So it looks like four toads all connected by the head shroom.
We call it
Yeah,
the Twerk
really
the
looks
Toad
like-
Tank. This baby can knock down bricks at a speed of 1 mile an hour.
That's actually pretty fast for knocking down bricks. Okay, let's see.
And the latter half of the game, you start to realize that a lot of them are just reused levels with one added gimmick.
AKA now bullet bills will shoot at you from wherever the hell they want.
Now,
This is not one of them, though, because now we have the true final boss of the game, the Hammer Bro.
Yeah. Well, the true final boss of the game are Hammer Bros in flat surfaces.
Yeah, in
by that I mean
A3.
the ones that are like directly in front of you that have no other blocks
Well, I
above
mean-
them because they're next to impossible to get
they
around.
knew Hammer Brothers were a pain in the butt because they started making Bowser throw hammers after a while.
Yeah, but he doesn't really move very much.
Yeah, he's too big and slow.
He jumps a lot slower
yeah, he's
too.
too big and slow to really be that much of a threat.
No. Hammer Brothers were always supposed to be like the final boss of this game. And they know that too because in Lost Levels they brought the ones that constantly walk towards you and don't stop.
Wow, you want to know what would make these guys more threatening? If they learned to go forward. Man.
I mean, it was threatening.
And it worked
Yeah.
because it puts a lot of pressure on
It
you.
just-
Yeah, to be fair, it is the most dangerous Mario enemy in any game.
It's just one of those things where it's just like, all right, guys, how are we going to get Mario? Have we considered moving towards him? Sir, you're promoted.
You really cornered yourself there, Ryan.
Well, the problem is the thing is the bloopers move in the direction you are facing / moving. So they're not going to move if you're rubbed up against a wall. So what you need to do is kind of backtrack, and now tell them to move left because you're moving left.
Is there any difference between 7-2 and 2-2?
Bloopers.
Yeah, I would say just there's more shit to avoid. I think that's about it.
Because I'm pretty sure the layout's exactly the same otherwise. I don't even really remember there being less bloopers in 2-2, but...
There are a few changes, but it's mostly the same level.
Okay, buddy. We can do this the easy way or the hard way.
Oh man, I love how like to simulate depth in the water, they just have a gradient effect moving up and down.
Yeah. I mean, that's how you did it on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
You gotta take advantage of that parallax scrolling.
Man, I remember
Mode
playing
7.
Vector Man, fucking Vector Man, and seeing like the vaguely 3D effect on the water surface specifically, and thinking like, wow, that's so impressive.
You want to know what's surprisingly a super graphic intensive game for the Genesis? Batman and Robin, like the Adventures of Batman.
Yeah,
and Robin.
yeah,
Yeah.
I had that. That's
Like holy fuck.
lots of smooth
Don't.
sprite work. Lots of smooth sprite work. They really they put in like Disney Sega game quality animation tier work. So like
It's a really good game.
they did what those Disney games did for the animated movies for the Batman animated series, and it's glorious.
Well, even then, like the game is different on both consoles. Like
Oh yeah.
on the Super Nintendo, it has the benefit of having like those Disney-esque sprites, which I don't think the Genesis had, but the Genesis had everything
Genesis
else.
did have those Disney-esque sprites. They were different Disney-esque sprites, I think, but they were really smoothly animated and very carefully tailored to the style of the show.
Like, the sprites were one thing, the backgrounds were amazing, the effects were amazing. I was like, this is probably killing the Genesis just running.
Also, it was a really hard game.
Damn. Yes, it was. It was also incredibly hard.
Yeah, I would still recommend going back to it today. It's a really good one.
Maybe it would be even better if they made it a Sega 32X game.
Oh, dude, the Batman and Robin game for Sega Genesis was an argument for not having a 32X at all. Like, I'm not kidding. It was that good looking and that fun to play. But I never beat it because it was just really challenging.
Maze level.
I think
which has the benefit on this version of giving you chimes when you get the right one, and you're not just blindly guessing.
No such thing in the original. It fucking sucks.
I think I could only reliably beat the Joker's part of the game, the first big chunk of
the first areas,
the first few levels, and his boss fight. After that, I kind of couldn't. I think the game was divided between different villains. Like, the first section was the Joker. The last section I know was Mr. Freeze.
Penguin was in there.
Yeah, I forget.
How did people figure this out in the 80s?
You just guessed.
They just kept going right until something happened. Honestly, what else can you do?
But, I mean, it's so specific. Like, you have to drop off of one platform, go under another, and then drop off onto the third one or something weird like that. It's just like, how are you going to try to do that kind of thing?
Once you realize you're going in an infinite loop, you're gonna realize it's a combination. Stuff like that was not uncommon in older games. So,
unless you're a poor sap who doesn't realize you're going into an infinite loop, and then, to this day you can probably still see that person trying to get through that level.
He's still playing the one arcade version still left in the United States.
Yeah, which is amazing. I thought the game had a time limit, but
the game does have a time limit.
So All-Stars...
He just keeps putting in quarters in.
So All-Stars, if you get a game over, you go back to 8-1, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's why I could never beat this game, because this world sucks. I hate it.
Well, it's better than the original. In NES, there was no save system at all. If you died, you went to the title
If you hold the B button, you can go back to the world.
Yeah, if you're a cheater.
That's not cheating. It's okay, it's cheating.
Have you no pride?
Nah, not really. I work here.
No, neither do I. But
I mean, my cart doesn't have a save system anymore because that battery died long ago.
I want to say in All-Stars, at least, if you get a game over, you at least start in the same world. Not the same level, but the same world.
Yeah, but there's no checkpoints in any of the World 8 levels, so you have to...
No.
I think I could get through World 8-1 relatively frequently, and there's...
8-1's not very hard.
And 8-2 has a 1-up at the very
at
beginning, so you're fine if you can get to that, but it's 8-3 and 8-4. That kind of kicks me in the dick.
8-4 isn't terribly hard until you get to the hammer, bro.
Yeah, I would say E3 is the hardest level.
Yeah, it is, because it has the Hammer Brothers on flat surfaces.
They're everywhere too. There's like 20,000 of them.
Yeah, well, some of them have the Koopa Troopas in front of them, so you can at least have that. But if you miss, and good luck.
I also think there's a few troll blocks on the ground too for them to bounce off and kill you if you're not paying attention. Which
because they hit, which I don't think is a problem in All-Stars, because in the original game the blocks look just like the background blocks. And they blend it in with the surroundings. In this game, they're obviously the graphical update made them look more like a regal castle, so they stick out.
Well, not when you're going 5,000 miles an hour. They don't.
5,000. It's just not Sonic.
Okay, fine. 4,999 miles an hour.
There we go.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. Got to think realistically.
All right.
Is Mario moving so fast that the bullet
now
bill?
Jump on your bullet.
Is he moving so fast that he can jump on bullets?
The funny thing is, if you get Mario and Sonic running on just a flat piece of land, they go about the same speed.
Yeah, Sonic only goes like ultra mega hyper fast if you're doing like loop-de-loop, speed booster, physics.
If he's running downhill.
If you're running downhill, even then in Sonic 1 his running speed was capped, so you'd have to roll downhill to get any faster. Oddly enough.
Pussy.
I think that had to do with
blame Naka for that.
I think that had to do with Yuji Naka getting motion sick, yeah.
What? Okay, I don't remember hearing
Oh,
that.
the developers getting motion sick was the origin of a lot of stuff. Like, Metal Gear Solid 3 initially not having a freely controlled camera because Kojima didn't like it. Yeah.
This is the most bizarre looking Bowser's castle ever because it looks just like a normal medieval castle.
I kind of got
Yeah.
church vibes, actually. It's just like in the Church of Bowser, on Sundays they just sing calm hymns and stuff like that, where it's just like, kill Mario.
Well, Bowser initially did like to live in a nice, pleasant, blue skies, calm weather environment. But then he started losing to Mario every day, and he tried to dial up the intimidation factor to try and psych Mario out. Didn't work, but he gained a reputation for always living in a volcano, and he had to keep up the image, otherwise people wouldn't take him seriously.
And Bowser just went with it. Yeah, just like, oh, well, it's cheap.
No,
real
you
estate.
fool.
Yeah, but the amount of money you spend on air conditioning kind of makes up
Offsets
for
it.
Does Bowser need air conditioning?
Son of
You
a
know, he can
bitch.
survive being thrown into a sun.
Well, Bowser Jr. probably doesn't like the heat. All right, he has
they-
to take care of his kids.
3 of them. Fucking 3.
4.
4.
Oh my God, you lucky asshole! Now don't
Well,
do
it's
what
not-
I would
Well,
do
Ryan
and
pretty
fall
much
on
won.
the staircase.
Pretty much won the game.
Yeah. Well, it's a matter of knowing how their pattern works. Because they tend to, after they jump, they will either not throw a hammer right as they land or throw only one hammer as they land.
It always feels so random when they jump, though. I'm never ready for it.
You kind of get a feel for it, but then you end up being completely wrong.
Yeah. Suddenly it's storming out.
Oh man,
Yeah.
look at that graphical fidelity.
Yeah, look, good lord, it took Mario all night to get to the front door.
Hello, Bowser. You left it unlocked.
Well, Bowser's like too smart for that. It's like, Mario, I know that's you. And then Mario had to disguise him like 10 different delivery
Wasn't it
drivers.
clear skies just a second ago?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Did they have...
It's like it took Mario all day to get to the front door.
Does Bowser just have, like... goddamn... like, lights flashing outside his window to give it the impression that lightning is flashing?
Oh yeah, strobe lights.
Yeah.
Good. Give Mario a seizure. The ultimate.
maybe
plan.
there's a Koopa hanging outside that keeps on dropping a yellow drape outside the window every 5 seconds.
Ooh, it's spooky.
Also, I hate that
He
in
has
this version
underwater
of the
moves.
game they keep Bowser's Castle theme going instead of having the mood drastically shift for the underwater theme. after.
Yeah. This is just kind of a weird what the fuck section.
They at least try to make it fit a little bit more in this one with like the rubble and crap. But
Probably just going through the castle's septic tanks. Ugh.
gross.
Final boss
There
of
you
the
go,
game.
Final boss of the game.
All right, buddy.
You can do it, Ryan.
Got
him.
Oh, you show
Yeah.
you show off.
The demon has been
Sleep. And then die to Bowser.
slain. Yeah. And that was lesser known, brother.
And that's it. That's Super Mario Brothers. Beatable in less than 45 minutes.
Yeah. But now you gotta do second quest.
The only difference is that the Goombas are changed to Buzzy Beetles.
He jumps in the cave with Peach and immediately gets
excuse
bigger.
me, Ryan. The Koopas are changed to
Oh,
Buzzy
sorry.
Beetles.
Oh yeah.
See, Mario gets his actual kiss here and not in Odyssey.
Well, she's not impressed though. She wants you to do a more difficult quest.
Also, there's nothing impressive about a smooch. Okay? My aunt smooches me in the cheek. No, it's like, it's nothing. It's not even first base. It's not even leaving home plate.
Okay. Now you know what John thinks about.
Well, he probably had an argument with people back in like middle school where it's like, yeah, I made first base. Oh yeah, who'd you kiss? My aunt. And they're like, what?
That's probably a punchline of Big Bang Theory. Fuck that show.
Yeah. Yeah.